Nuggets taking on the Timberwolves. For the Nuggets, they're right in the playoff mix, sitting 7th in the West. They want to continue to improve game by game. Timberwolves, Nuggets, the NBA on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Denver Nuggets. Some good basketball lately by Denver. They are really playing at a high level right now, going 8-1 over the last 9 games. Some fantastic post players in this game. Shaq, in addition to feet work, what are some of the keys to successfully operating out of the post?
2 things. Not that I was a great post player, but 2 things. You got to know how to seal off the defender.
You did that
hold
well.
them. Yeah, I know, and you got to work on quick moves before
You did
the
that
help
well,
arrives.
too.
Yeah, but
You're being really humble.
I like to be humble.
Well, I played with one of the greatest of all time.
Oh, did you ever?
Well, guy, you got to have multiple moves. You know, you got to have the shoulder, head and shoulder fake. You can go in either direction. You know, we could talk about Elijah Wan, but also one of the greatest of all time, that's Celtic.
Kevin
McHale.
Yeah, no question. That'll do it. Both teams ready for the tip as we go to Kevin Harlan and the crew.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Hart. Hey, Dave.
Well, Coach Mike Malone had this to say about his understated superstar, Nikola Jokic. Malone said he's truly beloved by all his teammates. No ego, a little bit goofy, doesn't take himself too seriously, and with his success, he's still the same kid. That's why everybody cares about him and respects him. Kevin?
The Nuggets lucky to have him. Thanks, David. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Barton.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missing.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Morris is out there with Karl Anthony Towns. Then it's Shea. Then there's Walden. And it's Culver in at the 2. And for Denver, the backcourt is Murray and Harris. Gallinari is out there with Will Barton. And it's Jokic in at center. Here's Brown. And it's sent back by Jokic. Yes, that goes in. And so it's Harris who will bring it up for Denver. They faced off right here last time they met, but the home club just couldn't pull out the win.
And that was a tough one. They expected to play well and did, just not well enough.
Categorically, you look at that box score from that last game, and they outplayed their opponent in so many areas. I thought it was going to at least come down to a buzzer beater, but it did not.
Shea, no good. Brent, at this point, perennial contenders sometimes coast to the final games of the regular season. Any danger that they can't hit that right button or flip the switch and get back into gear?
When you hear analysts say that the playoffs are all about matchups, they are exactly right. You and I talked about this, Kevin, several years ago about
the time.
Going into the playoffs, teams don't have to be hot. You don't have to be 10-2 in the last 12 games for your playoffs, because all of a sudden, if you're matched up against a team that's owned you all year long, your chances of winning that series are very, very slim. So it becomes just let's get in and let's find out who we're playing, and then we'll get to work.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets. Here's Murray. Playing Houston, he was nearly unstoppable. Denver passing it around. Clock at 6. The Nuggets with another miss. So for the Nuggets, their last game, a win against the Rockets in Houston. And Shea throws it down.
The easiest way to score. Shea getting to the rim for the dunk.
The Nuggets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Passes it to Barton. And Barton throws it down.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Up top, Morris. Wants to get it to Brown and does. And again, it's Minnesota.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Pass to Jokic. Out to Harris. Now here's Murray. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points a game. Jokic passes to Murray. No good on the three.
Didn't hesitate for a second to get a hand up on that deep ball.
Yeah, you got to like how he hustled to guard out on the perimeter, definitely respecting the shooting ability.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Gallinari outside. There's the dish to Murray. From outside the arc. It's rebounded by Towns. Minnesota leading by 6.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense. And it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
Jokic with the bucket.
This is a nice battle inside. It's a matchup where Jokic has the size and the moves to probably take advantage of the defense.
And the foul on Will Barton. That's his first foul for the Nuggets. And as he's checked in for Barton, Justin Holiday comes in for Gary Harris. And Morris subbed in for Murray. And Brown throws it down.
Ooh, the night is growing here for Che, but he's not one to gloat, during the game at least.
The Nuggets trail by 8. And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable three-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throw of the night. Michael Carter-Williams checked in for Denver. Free throw good for Morris. You know, Brent, passing is just one of the many things that Jokic does well on the floor.
Well, it doesn't look pretty at times, and there's not a ton of athleticism, but the cerebral play of Jokic, and then for teams to try to prepare Kevin defensively for a team offensively that plays from a point center, that's a bit of a mind job night in and night out. Denver's done such a great job of accentuating the skill set of Nikola Jokic.
Timberwolves leading by 5. Here's Brown. Nikola Jokic grabs the miss.
That might not be the shot they want him taking, even with the D backing off.
Carter-Williams can't get it to go.
Well, with his touch from mid-range, Kevin, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence. Not getting old here, seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for Denver. Shea with the block.
Crazy to think scouts were saying that Che didn't play with enough heart. That block showing you that he wants it.
Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
He rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. From deep three-point range, and so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We come back right after this. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry.
I want to be the best player who ever played. And
on his coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And
with some changes. Gallinari, he's checked in for Ennis. Gary Harris comes in for Justin Holiday. And it's Jamal Murray in for Michael Carter-Williams. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, on out there with Culver. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Walden in at the 3 spot. Morris. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic. Morris has got 5 points so far.
Yeah, you can't leave people open around Jokic, and the offense is set up to have cutters and movement. He'll take advantage of the defense if they sleep.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Shea in the last game against the Kings got the job done. He dropped in 38 points, and he capitalized quite a few times from distance, which was huge. This team is playing really well right now. They're playing for each other and working hard to get every win. Kevin, they'll want to keep it going tonight.
Yeah, David, he was in attack mode all night long. GA really propelled them to that win.
When he's on, he is on. And there isn't all that much you can do to stop him.
And sometimes you can just look at a guy and you see the confidence that he's playing with. That's what I like best.
Back to Harris. Some nice ball movement by the Nuggets. Jokic draws the double. Gallinari inside the three-point line. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Shea's shot is off.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And it's blocked by Brown.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Jokic with the steal. Murray right side. Harris outside. Walden with the steal. And so that's the end of the first half. The Timberwolves on top, leading by 6. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Alfred, what's working for you guys in the first half? How did you get yourselves going?
We were able to get out and run. We're getting out the rim fast and getting out the court.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside.
There he goes!
You don't want to be jumping on a play like that. No. Wow, he was up there, Kevin. If I was scoring that, Kevin, I'm giving that a strong 9 from Shea.
Especially in the playoffs, Brent, so much can change when a player gets in a foul trouble. See the league ever modifying that foul out rule?
I know that they do that in the summer league where you can stay on the court for 10 fouls as elimination, but it's a technical every time. I don't see the league doing that. I think it's good for the game so that star players or meaningful players, ones that play specifically on defense, they have to have responsibility for what it is that they're doing on the floor. And if they're overly aggressive, you should be penalized for playing that way.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Murray surveying the D. And Jokic wide open. He shoots. And another miss by Denver.
Not sure they realize it's not halftime anymore. 4 attempts, and they're still looking for their first bucket.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
You know, you watch Nikola Jokic out there, and he just moves like a guard. The way he approaches the game, sees the court, and shoots just aren't found in that center position.
You know, Greg, Jokic has so many tools at his disposal. He's a walking triple-double threat.
The passing and vision is what really sets him apart at that center position. The offense can run through him and should run through him with how he can distribute the ball.
Here's what Denver's going with right now. James Ennis, he'll check in for Gallinari. Justin Holiday comes in for Barton. Michael Carter-Williams checked in for Harris. And Barea subbed in for Jamal Murray. Here's Barea. And he uses the glass on the layup.
There you go, finally getting one to drop. They have to be a little better now, starting 1 for 5 in this half.
Minnesota leading by 11. Brown with it, now guarded by Ennis. Brown jams it in!
Really wild to think that there were doubts on Shea's commitment to the game. He's proving himself and proving that he can hoop.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And he has grooved his stroke at the line this season and been able to maintain it with an average of 90%.
Ball's knocked loose. Pass to Jokic. Ennis passes to Jokic. Good on the shot. Jokic has got his third basket of the night.
That's a testament to the effort there on the boards. Never willing to give up on the possession, finding ways to sniff out the ball.
And Justin Holiday picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And it's Shea missing. The Nuggets trail by 12. And here is Carter Williams. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Barea with it. Now guarded by Shea. Shot clock at 6. Good work there as it goes. Barea's got 4 this quarter.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
And they double up Shea. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
The Timberwolves shooting their second and third free throws tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
The first free throw is good. You know, Brent, how candid can players be in their answers in the post-game interviews about what has happened or what they're feeling at that time? In other words, is there a danger to being too honest as a player?
There could be, Kevin. I mean, anytime you express some of your vulnerabilities, and if it's done at the right time, somebody's going to take advantage of it. What we've seen over the past couple of years is forget about when it is that the media is asking you questions. Most players are taking it to their social media accounts where they're able to get the message out without being baited by somebody with regards to a question. They can expound on whatever it is that they're feeling at that time, and that helps them to control the messaging a little bit more. And I think that trend is going to continue and continue to grow.
Here's Jokic. Off target from outside.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
It's deflected. Reed the pass to Shea. Baseline try. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Shea's got 15 points in just the second half. 51 seconds left to play here in the third. Now Barea. He's got 6. Here's Shea. Oh, and the jam by Shea.
Zero hesitation to take that on the inside. Shea aggressive on that one.
There's 37 seconds left to play in the third. Time called here. The Nuggets decide to talk it over.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it, make the adjustment.
A different look for Denver. Alinari, he's checked it. Harris dishes to Morris. Back to Harris. To the middle. And there's Morris. That's good on the assist by Harris. Harris has got 3 assists in the game. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Towns is out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Culver. Then there's Brown. And it's Walden in at the small forward. Offensive rebound. Towns. And Towns throws it down.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the boards.
Stick with fundamentals there. Shot goes up, box out, or he'll destroy you.
Barton finds Morris. Murray outside. Offline with his 3.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
And that one drops for him.
He's got a lot to do with the position that they're in. A very smart offensive performance tonight from him.
Brent, we have seen some international showcase games the last few years. Do you like that trend?
Oh, absolutely. I like the fact that our league, we know how global it is with how many players from different countries are represented throughout the rosters around the league. But for our game to travel around to London and to Mexico City and have an opportunity for those fans to see what NBA basketball is like, I think it's an absolute win for
I'd
the
like
NBA.
to see more, actually.
Well, more time for those teams. The timing of some of those trips for some teams are a little bit tough in terms of the travel, but their appearances there mean so much more to grow the game globally.
5 to shoot. Good work defensively by Morris.
That's the only kind of defense that's going to cut the mustard here tonight. You got to... Yeah, look out!
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Yeah, the other team a bit concerned here. They're trailing, and the lead seems to be growing.
Molinari passes to Murray. Bounce pass from Morris. The Nuggets moving the ball around. A fadeaway. And another miss by Denver. And the Timberwolves with possession. It's been 8 unanswered points for them. And that one's good to go from Shea.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
Harris passes to Murray. Here's Morris. The teardrop falls in. Morris has got 7 now in this quarter.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it.
Connects again.
And you had a feeling he might do it tonight. 40-point mark has been reached.
The most 40-point games in a single season. An incredibly historic year from him.
And in 1962, Wilt set the record for 40-point games with 63. Never thought that mark would be broken, but I never thought we'd see a season like this.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Shea.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
And with their spot in the postseason assured, he's picking up just at the right time to be on top of his game. We've got 1:08 left in the fourth quarter. And that one drops.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
Inside. And the dunk by Jay.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
Yeah, up until that point, a competitive game, but once they broke through that barrier, it was all them. Complete control.
Back to Carter Williams. 6 to shoot. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Brown against Barea. And they double up Jay. The pass to Crabbe. Barea against Brown. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
All of that earned right there. It's become Che's mantra since he's gotten into the NBA.
And Brown drops them both. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Warwick. Pulls it from the elbow. And again, it's Denver.
That's the kind of passing you want there. Work the ball around, keep it moving, try to get an assist on every bucket.
Here's Che, and the dunk by Che.
And they came in determined to take this one. It's going to be a happy flight home.
Yeah, when you step into an opposing team's arena and you can play with this type of composure, boy, that food tastes good on the way out of town.
So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you very much. Well, Che, the 64th time this season you've scored 40 or more points in a game, and that breaks Wilt's record. How have you been able to score this season with such consistency?
Hey, DA, man, no single player can go out and score 40 points, a night on their own. It's all about the system we have in place. My teammates set me up with great looks, and I can honestly say that they're the reason that, I have so many big games.
Well, all of you get the credit, but you get most of it. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always.
The thing about this league, it's constantly changing. So just look at all of those so-called unicorn bigs. Guys like Durant and Porzingis and Zion and Simmons and Embiid and Luka. Giants who can play like point guards. Big men who can rain threes. Shoot the